latest on Tropical Depression 35W has been named by Pegasa. The name is Usman. It's at 10.7 degrees north, 129.1 degrees east, still short of tropical storm status, with winds of 30 miles per hour and a pressure of 1003 millibars. At 10 AM Philippine time this December 27th, it was located here in relation to the Philippine Islands, and Signal 1 warnings are now in effect for part of the area, especially towards the east. This storm has the potential to be a significant rainmaker over the next few days, even though it's going to remain fairly disorganized and pretty weak. Right now it's 234 miles from Dinagat, 253 from Surigao, and 608 miles from the capital Manila. Signal 1 warning in effect right now for these areas marked in yellow as far inland as northern Cebu, in the central Visayas region, and also on the island of Masbate. The whole of Samar and Leyte is also covered by that Signal 1 warning as well. However, it's not going to be the winds that are going to be the main threat from this storm, it's going to be the potential for flooding, especially in central and eastern Luzon, and possibly on the island of Mindoro as well, are two places that have been earmarked by the computer models for really significant amounts of rainfall, which could double what was seen by Tropical Storm Washi in 2011, for instance, just as your one comparison there. The storm moves off towards the west over the South China Sea on the model run there, leaving behind a lot of residual rainfall over the rest of the weekend into early next week. We'll talk about that more shortly. Sea surface temperatures look like this, however, certainly warm enough to fuel all of that convection required, 27 or 28 degrees Celsius, and this is what we expect now from the wind forecast. So we're looking out for those greens showing tropical storm force winds. As you can see, very little to begin with. The center moves over the islands, then those tropical storm force winds start to light up there along the northern part of Luzon, all around the area really, extending down into the Visayas region. The center of the storm is pretty small, moving out into the South China Sea going into next week there. You can see it moving off towards the southwest into New Year's Day, could be reaching Category 1 Typhoon status as it moves south of southeastern Asia. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. It's just one model run, it's the first one that said that so far. The chances of tropical storm force winds are pretty low actually when you look at these numbers. I'm not quite sure that I take much stock into these numbers. They are some estimates based on the models. It's probably a little bit higher than that, but as stated, if it does get the tropical storm status, it will be pretty weak once it moves through the islands, and then the possibility of further intensification when it moves out into the South China Sea. However, at the moment that is not backed by the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. This storm will have a massive wind field if it does get to tropical storm status, and the wind shear is certainly displacing all of that convection already well off towards the north and west, and this is how it is looking in visual terms, which will probably describe that a little bit better for you. You can see a massive amount of convection to the north of the center. Look at the water vapor imagery, how large that is right now. It's pretty much what the HWRF forecasted a few days ago, and that's now going to move over the Philippines and probably get larger and more expansive over the next 24 to 48 hours. It's going to deliver a lot of rain over the area. That's the main risk from this storm, and it is a massive flooding threat for the region in the central Visayas up to northern and eastern Luzon. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com with the latest. You can also find our YouTube page. You're probably there already, but if not, subscribe if you haven't so far. You can also find our Facebook page, Force 13 all in text, and it's at Force 13 on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch with us on there. And if you wanted to feel like Christmas every other week, you can also become a patron on the project. You can help Force 13 become even better in the process. Find out more information at patreon.com/Force13 to see what benefits you could have from that. You can also find Force 13 on Skype and Fool 13 on Discord at extension 9094 for tropical weather chat.